What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Slam D Fishing. Today I've got a high school bass fishing tournament coming up, so there is quite just a few things for for the tournament. That would be just a small spinnerbait. I already got some big ones. I just figured, like, if they don't want that big one, I'll just toss in a small one and they'll pick it up. Kevin Van Dam said that in his classic, and that's how he caught him and won the classic, so I'm hoping to repeat that stage. The second thing, which I have most of the belief in this tournament, is the Booyah Pad Crasher in black and with this blue tail. I'll show it to you. And I'll show you the spinnerbait after. I just figured I'd show that because that's the more important bait, because the spinnerbait's iffy if I'm even going to throw this. If I'm going to throw this, I'm throwing this on the medium bait caster. Not even a medium heavy. When I first got this, I thought it was going to be just a tad bit bigger, but I was not expecting it to be this small. It's the Red Eye spinnerbait. But I like it. I mean, if it catches fish, it catches fish. You know, I mean, who knows? Maybe someone else didn't get a small spinnerbait and they don't do good, and I do. So you always got to think positive like that. That you have majority of the time you always have something that other people don't. And if you think that that bait's gonna catch fish and other people don't have that rig, you got confidence. So I'm going to go into depth about frogs because I feel like that frogs are like. First of all, you want to throw a frog. I hate, and this is one of my pet peeves when I see this too sometimes. I'll talk about that after. You want to 7.3 to anything up in a heavy action rod. It all depends on your comfort. Mine's a 7.6. I like 7.6. I can swim bait with this rod. I can frog, slop, punch, flip, anything, you name it. I can do anything with this rod. It's the Lew's American Hero with the Lew's LFS. Shout out to Lew's because I love Lew's. 50-pound Power Pro braid. A lot of people like to go higher. I said 50's fine. A lot of people will say 50's fine. Now, what's the benefits of going higher and lower? Well, first of all, if you go too high, you're not gonna be able to cast that far. So that's the benefit right there. 50-pound is enough to get out of that slop and get your frog out there and set the hook and everything, while it's low in diameter enough that it can bomb it. So if you want to bomb a frog back in those lily pads, 50 pounds your thing. If you're an extra thick slop, then you know, I guess you want to go with the heavier. But I mean, for me, even doesn't matter for me. I'm gonna fish 50-pound because I feel like 50-pound braid just gets the job done for me. Another thing is, it doesn't matter what color braid you get. This is yellow. And here's a little trick. Just get a Sharpie. See that, but yeah, color it in. You know, just pull it down and draw up and down the line on it and everything, and you're fine. You know, just keep doing that. Gear ratios. You want a faster gear ratio. Mine's is 6.8.1 just because I fish swim baits sometimes with it. So I mean, I'm a fast reeler too, so I can relate to that. Gear ratios don't matter too much, but they definitely do help. So 6.8 to anything up, because the faster you go, the closer you are going to get to a hook set and all that good stuff. Knot I like to tie with it. Braid, I love a Palomar knot. If you know a San Diego Jam, that's a good one too for braid. Basically what a Palomar is you take your line like this, loop it, get it wet on the edge so it's flat like that. Slide it through, with your line like this. So that's your end line and your main line. Connect them like that. And then just do a simple overhand. Take your lute, wrap it through whatever your bait was, and then make sure you wet it. Pull your main line. Wet it some more. If you got a thing with saliva, go ahead and use water. The main point of this is so the friction doesn't burn off your, not only your color on your Sharpie, but I mean, it'll just fray your line. And if you set the hook on a big fish, you'll lose a frog. I've done that. So, from personal experience, wet your line. Just take your tag end. Once you feel this is pretty cinched down enough, I mean, it's one of the strongest knots I've seen. So, you just take your end. That's about as much as you want to cut off. Because braid does slip a little bit, so you want to leave just a tad bit on there. Also, another thing with 50-pound line is it's a lot easier to cut than anything like 60, 65. So, that's not going to interfere with anything. Not only is it just going to do good, I mean, just cast a little bit better. So, there it is. Like I said, this frog is the Booyah Poppin' Frog. I did give it a haircut, and if you don't know what haircut means, I'm going to tell you, if I can get this bait here. Haircut means you just trim up the legs, so that way it walks better, or gives you better action. So, impressions of this bait, it's just like a Spro, essentially. And I love a Spro. I lost my Spro. It's blue and black. Really, I don't care about colors unless it's on the bottom. So, I mean, if it's black on the bottom, that's what they're going to see. So, if you want a black frog, and I know Spro frogs are out of black ones right now, pick this up because it's the same thing. Another impression, I did this. It's really easy to get that down. Hooks are really sharp. I've got a feeling, I've got a snag proof in there. That was a really good hookup ratio. I'll show you in a second too. I was really impressed with the hookup ratio of that. This, I've got a feeling I'm going to be very impressed by. Just for the sheer fact that that's a little bit lighter. I mean, this isn't as hard to get down as a Spro. I'm not dissing Spro or anything at all. Spro is a great frog, but this is, I don't even know. I mean, it's really easy to get down, and then once you get that, just those hooks. I mean, I know frogs are like the worst hookup ratio ever, but this, I just feel that this is going to improve the game. It's got some nice barbs on there and everything, and this is just an excellent lure for the money. I think this was about $8. Don't mark me on that. It was definitely a great product from Booyah. I remember seeing Booyah spinnerbaits and jigs and all that. I'm looking forward to try some of those. I'm not a big jig fisherman either. Another frog. I mean, that was the poppin' frog you saw. I'll show you the mouth, just cause. You know, that's for popping. It's like a popper, but you know, honestly, to me, the poppin' frogs walk just as well. You can walk these things with incredible walking power. Next frog I'm going to show you. I've had no complaints about this frog because this frog is straight up the bomb. I got two frogs actually I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the difference of them. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 frogs. I lied again, 4 frogs. I'm going to show you 5 actually. This is terrible. I can't even count today, huh? Can't even get my mind straight. Alright, so the first frog we're going to show you is the frog I haven't had any problems with yet. That I like. Great hookup ratio. Nothing to complain about. Doesn't fill up with water. That's the snag proof. This is just a regular frog. I don't even think this is Ish's version. But I'll tell you what, right out the package, the legs are perfect. You don't even have to trim them. That's what I liked about it. As soon as it came out the package. I mean, it just walked fine because I didn't have time to trim them. But, I mean, it's fine. It walks perfectly. hookup ratio on it, it doesn't get snagged at all. And that hook, I thought this was, if you can see that, it's like behind this fat. I thought it was going to have a problem with the hookup ratio. Not at all. That I don't even know how. But sometimes the hook would turn, and that would give it an even better hook set. And it really impressed me. This bait really did indeed impress me. This next bait, if you're on a budget, this frog is for you. It's the Scum Frog. It's the swimming version, and I put my homemade trailer hooks on there, which I shouldn't have done, but I did anyway. So, I mean, it's the swimming version. It's good for the money. I've caught one fish on it, because I don't throw it that often, but one day they wanted the kicking power, and I just did that. They liked it. They certainly did like it. And it's just been an okay frog, I guess. The next frog, I'm not too impressed about, and I don't know if this is because it's the old version or it's just, I don't know, because it's this live target. As you can see, these legs, that's my problem. These legs get in the way. Looks like a frog. I mean, the body, but I mean, live target lives up to their name, but I mean, the hooks weren't that sharp. And then just these legs are terrible. I'm not dissing live target because I have their spook and it's great, but their frogs, I definitely think they need to improve their game on. These next two frogs I'm going to show you are not hollow-bodieds. So, one of them's just a little zoom horny toad. You know, and I'm going to show you the difference between this bait and this bait I'm about to show you from Pappy's Baits. Pappy's Baits makes very unique baits that flat out catch fish. I don't care where you go, you're going to catch fish on them. I mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have used unique, but they look more realistic. I mean, if you've ever seen a frog across the water, how many times have you seen a frog kick like this? I have never seen a frog kick like that in the water. I've always seen choo, choo. This is why this bait catches more fish, because, yeah, that kicks side to side, like a real frog. They have it in the little version too, which I'll show you. This is just pearl white. They got little frog and big frog. I like the bullfrog. They do catch fish. They do indeed catch fish and live up to their name. I would never, I wouldn't. It's just a really, really good bait. I can't even say anything else about them. There's nothing wrong with it. They last you a long time too. They certainly live up to their name. Pappy's Baits has done a very, very great job of making lures, and he did this for a while out of his garage, and now he's in Canada. Pappy's been a really good friend of mine for a while. I look forward to get some videos of the road shows I do with him. I'm going to show you this now. Email him, call his Canada number. It's probably not going to show up on there. I'm sorry, but if you want this card, please, I mean, there's his name. If you want his card and everything, or his name, and you want more, just so you can buy these baits, because these baits do flat out catch fish, then comment and I will give you all that. So this is Slam D Fishing signing out. Right here. Leave a like, leave a comment, do what you gotta do.